Welcome to the Rewire with Pleasure Summit. I am your host, Karolina Hagren, and today I am here with Amara Charles. She is a trusted, highly acclaimed relationship mentor to thousands and best-selling author of The Sexual Practices of Quodoushka. She has been presenting spiritual sexuality intimacy retreats worldwide for over 30 years and offers compassionate guidance for those seeking to ignite their relationships with greater intimacy, passion, and deeply bonded love. Welcome, Amara. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you so much. It's lovely to be here. I'm very excited about having a chat.
Yeah, great. Where in the world are you right now?
Well, I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and right now it is absolutely glorious. Springtime is coming, and all the buds are coming out on the trees. It's wonderful.
Oh, beautiful. I would love to get to know you a little bit and hear about how did you come into the field of sexuality in Kudushka and the field that you're working in right now.
Well, I have to go back quite a while. And as I go back, I remember when I first entered into this arena. Really, I had no idea there even was such an arena. It was before Tantra that was known. I didn't even know that you could learn anything about sexuality, let alone consider it spiritual. I
Mm.
had no idea. I had an upbringing and came from a family that we didn't discuss sex. We didn't have any education. We didn't ever talk about it ever. And it wasn't that it was wrong or bad or a taboo. It was simply never mentioned. And so it was expected that you just kind of figured it all out, which of course we do. And I like to say that I, like many people, went through a process of discovery of figuring it out by myself in the backseat of a Chevy and in a car, and just fumbled way through. And so I had a number of relationships, experiences, quite a number. And I have to say that, I was really deeply confused. We hear that sexuality is supposed to be wonderful, it's supposed to be great, it's supposed to be fun, and yet it can also be the greatest source of frustration, of
Mm.
deep confusion. Who am I? What kind of partner do I want? What kind of life do I want? What do I do about sexuality when it's great and when it's not great? And so there was just a complete void of education in this arena. And so when I came across the Quodoushka teachings, I was in a period of deep confusion. I had a breakup. I thought it was the end of the world. You know how that is, and a series of really confusing situations. And so when I first heard that, hey, our sexuality within the Quodoushka tradition, when I first heard that our sexuality could be absolutely a source of liberation and a source of connection to spirit, this was a whole new paradigm for me, a whole new way of looking at sexuality as a gateway, as an opening into a deeply spiritual experience. And what I discovered was that if you regard your sexuality as a sacred space of mystery and of union and bliss and joy, well, it can become that. And it was
Mm.
the absolute opposite of that for me. It was fun, it was quick, it was like, okay, that happened, and now what? So I didn't know how to wield my sexual energies with any care or real wisdom. I just did whatever.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful. I'm wondering how. what is it that makes sex like a spiritual? What is it in spiritual sexuality that like how can we open up to that realm of our sexuality that it's actually spiritual? How can we experience that? How what is that?
Well, one of the easiest doorways into this idea that our our sexuality can be a supremely spiritual spaciousness of love is to begin with, well, why do we even have sex to
Mm.
begin with? And so one of the ways to look at it is that, well, of course, we have sex because we want to procreate. We want to perpetuate the species. So it's a survival thing. So there is a deep instinctual aspect that our sexuality is not something superfluous or extra. It's absolutely crucial aspect of being a human being. Now, in our growing up, as we move past puberty and so on, and we're able to have a child, well, something really significant changes, doesn't it? Because we're not only having sex for pleasure, we could bring a being into the world through our actions. So it's essential that we choose wisely for that reason, on one hand, but also there's the sense that our sexuality is in the what I love about the shamanic tradition, the Quodoushka tradition, says that we have sex for two reasons. One is to connect with the source of where we came from. So it's spiritual because we were born through an act of an egg and a seed coming together, and then whoosh, there was this generative energy that produces something absolutely unique. We are a unique product. Every single being is a unique product of two energies coming together to produce something new. That's Quodoushka. That's what Quodoushka means. And so this is magical. This is spiritual. This is special. There's no other union that has produced each and every single human being. And so therefore, our life is precious. It's very, very rare to be born into a physical body. Okay, we might, whatever, spiritual tradition you come from, in the Buddhist tradition, it's understood that to be born in a human form is very, very rare. It's very special. So whether you agree with Buddhist philosophy or whatever, the point is like, okay, then, well, what are we going to do with this life? Really, that's really the main question. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do while we're here? And so we have a choice. We always have a choice. We can get consumed by our difficulties, our troubles, and our suffering. And that can be what we experience. Or we can say, hey, yeah, all humans have difficulties. And what am I going to do to celebrate being alive with a body that has a sexual energy that is very, very natural? So there's two reasons to have sex. One is to touch back and tap back into that special source of our union, of where we came from, of who we are. And then the second reason is for pleasure, because we're designed for pleasure. We are able, we're capable, we have a capacity for pleasure. So I'll finish with this. If we were only to use our sexuality in order to procreate, that would be a very small sliver of the pie of what we do with our sexuality. We would just procreate, maybe, a little bit more like animals. But we have this whole other, besides that sliver, that purpose is to procreate. We also have, well, sex is for a whole lot of other things. It's for pleasure. And so that is where we have the most confusion is, well, it's supposed to be pleasurable, but like how I said I grew up, yes, we know that in its ecstasy and its union and in its bliss, it's It's such a doorway to pleasure and joy, and simultaneously can also be a source of tremendous illusion, fantasy, delusion, confusion as well.
Mm. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I think of it as being such like it's the core of who we are, who we identify as, um, who we are in our sexuality really comes down to who are we in the core of our being. And I'm very curious uh, about our sexual energy as as a healing force, as a transformational agent for our evolution. And how can we awaken that part of our sexuality? How can we, move energy or work with orgasms in a way where we become like co-creators in our life and co-creators with pleasure?
Mm. Mhm. Well, the way I view this is that it's not so much about any particular technique. I mean, of course, there's the lovely techniques of breathing and where we align the channels of the body and awaken sources of trapped energy so that we're more vital, we have more vitality, we have more aliveness. And it's true that the breath is the core. I mean, when we're reigniting this core connection that you mentioned with ourselves, it happens with the breath.
Mm.
Okay. And so the aliveness that we are seeking, even though sex is so much more fun with another person, the reality is that the source of it is always within our own body, within our own being. And so the way to ignite and awaken and learn about this deep core aliveness inside of us that is really beyond sex, actually. It's simply a core aliveness that tingles and radiates and ripples. This aliveness ripples through all of everything. And it's always there. It's already there. We don't find it in another person, we find it in ourselves.
Mm.
And I find that the key to unlocking this huge reservoir of this beautiful energy that ripples over, fills up, and then we want to share it with someone. The source of that is through self kindness, self
Mm.
friendliness. And when we find this voice, this feeling, this experience of moments of self kindness, that is actually will guide us to having a clue and a road to how do we share this energy. It begins with self-friendliness, self-kindness first.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I'm imagining myself like meeting myself with kindness, and to me, it seems like it brings us into like meeting wherever we are at this moment.
And it's like a mirror. It's
Mm.
like when we find someone that we want to connect with, whether it's one time or potentially maybe a long time, we have an enduring relationship. Um, the why I say it's like a mirror is because that person, that being, is going to bring up and mirror every single fear, every single vulnerability, every single blockage that we have. It's going to appear to be outside of us so that
Mm.
we can see it. It's just really hard to see our own eyeballs, right? So existence allows us to relate to the appearances of these qualities, these attributes. In other words, if there's fear, if we're afraid of really letting go, for example, really allowing the full expression of our orgasmicness to be seen, to be expressed, to be enjoyed. We might have a fear because we stop ourselves before even allowing ourselves this expression because, well, lots of reasons. Well, then what does it mean? And then what am I obligated? What have I agreed to? Like, what will happen? And will I be hurt? I mean, there's so many, the energy is so powerful and simultaneously so deeply fragile. It's important to remember that the the union, the yab yom, the masculine, the feminine, um, this is constantly alive within us. And we seek outside experiences to light up our inner wisdom, to light up our inner aliveness.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, when I hear you speak, I it makes me think about how can we create perhaps rituals or ceremony that will allow those mirrors or reflections to be clear and also uh, help us to engage with them or bring healing through them, like meeting the fear, as you shared. Can we somehow enhance that way of engaging by ceremony or ritual or making agreements with our partners? Do you have any uh, insights
Well,
there?
yes, I mean that is a great deal of what we learn to do in when I have a Quodoushka workshop, for example. There is a way of beginning in nature and connecting with the aliveness of the water.
Mm.
And just remember the flow of water and what water gives us, the freshness, the aliveness, that we connect with the earth, that we remember that we are grounded in the ground of being, that we come from Mother Earth, that we are Mother Earth, that we are nature, that we are not separate ever, 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 that we are never alone. And the wind that comes through our ability to have open, flexible mind and the aliveness that happens with the mind is our thinking. And so all of these elements of creation, these elements of consciousness come into our sexuality. And then there is the fire, the heat, the passion, the literal fire, but also like the heat of our passion is an aliveness. And so that's one of the ways, that's one of the beautiful things that I see happen over and over and over again is that people never really thought to these days to associate the connection to the elements of creation. So that's where I would say people start with ceremony is to simply allow in a appreciation, a celebration, if you will, of the joy of our waters. It also includes our juiciness, our secretions, and so forth. That's a celebration, that aliveness, because when we get all full of passion and the heat and the fire gets hot, well, then we release water, don't we? So it's already happening in the flow of our experiences. We're living expressions of the elements. And an awakened being remembers this. An awakened being celebrates the body, earth, instead of, oh, my body isn't, you know, big enough, small enough, long enough, whatever that we make up that is not true. It's just the aliveness. If you close your eyes and just experience the pure sexiness, the pure tingling, if you will, of being alive. This is the source of being connected with creation. And so there are many beautiful ceremonies and rituals to help us remember who we already are, who we really are, and that's actually what we're sharing together. Not all the other conditionings, and it has nothing to do with anything else, but in the pure orgasticness, the specialness of sharing this. I believe it should be shared very selectively, very wisely, very joyously when we make a choice, a decision to open ourselves. Well, this is a rare thing and a rare gift, not to be abused or taken for granted. But again, coming back to what I said earlier, is to be shared with kindness.
Mm. Yes, yeah, kindness and sacredness I hear, and in and like you said, like in a communion with nature, with elements, that somehow that we are not alone in this little body trying to feel, but we're actually connected. Uh, that's what I'm hearing when you speak about the elements, and that, wow, I have such a circle of elements of nature around me that I can bring in. It's very
Mm.
inspiring to hear.
Yes. And I'm not suggesting that, you need to go out and, I mean, although it's nice to go out and make love on a beach or under a tree. I mean that you can call these uh, elements into your everyday life and celebrate the specialness again of having. I think the main thing is just not taking for granted that we can even enjoy an orgasm or that we can even share this energy with someone else. That is enough. I mean, that makes it sacred already. All
Mm,
right. And then there's lots of other fun ways we can even heighten this energy if we like to.
mm. Yes. What would you say is something that our audience could do today to mm, to experience even more pleasure, even more connectedness or intimacy? Um, do you have any like practical tips on where to begin or what to
Yeah,
do?
what comes to mind is I love simplicity and the real power of all of this is love. And
Mm,
so I have a little practice that I do and I share with people of a place to begin. And you can do this whether you're with yourself or with another. And so it's very, very simple. And you just simply place your hand on your heart. And if you have a mirror, and we'll just look into this little camera here and pretend it's a mirror. And so you look into the mirror, and if you're with another person, the mirror is their eyes. So you either look into a mirror or you look into another's eyes and you say, I love you, and I open myself to you.
mm,
I love you, and I open myself to you. I love you, and I open myself to you. And then if you're with another, it usually turns into a hug.
mm,
And I offer this practice very often with people that I work with because I know that one of the biggest obstacles, obscurations of the pure flow of love is a lack of feeling loved, a lack of feeling worthy, and so on, and all other kinds of blockages. But the reality is why I love this practice is that it just simply reminds us of the truth. Okay. I love you and I open myself to you is a very beautiful practice. And I suggest that people do this. I've done it many, when I go through a phase of like, I want to just really enhance this feeling of connection and togetherness and union. And so the reality is that beautiful sexual hot sex happens well before we ever get to the bedroom. It happens in the morning when we're making our coffee. So this is a thing to do when you come out of right out of the first thing. And so I did this together with my beloved, and the the thing that was funny was that our dog just never missed a day, had to be in on it. And so every time we do this, the dog is right there and jumping up. It's like, no, pick me up, pick me up. I have to be included in this. And so we had a triad for 90 days. We did this for 90 days and beginning with joy. So you don't need to wait. You don't need to wait for the right setting, the right atmosphere, the right romance, the right person, the right anything. Begin your day in joy, bliss, joy. And the way to do that is to simply bring up the vibration, the love, and share it with yourself to begin with, and watch what happens. So,
Mm. Oh, wow. So so profound. I feel such a like such a softening and opening to love.
mm,
And
beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for yeah, for that beautiful practice. And I love how easy it is and how uh, impactful it
Yes,
feels. Yeah.
yes. Well, that's what there are far more complex things that you can do also. And yet, when they're really coming from this foundation of calm, of peacefulness, you can focus on the nervous system and all these beautiful, complex. I like complexity too. These complex systems, and there are beautiful ways to balance the channels within the bodies. But you asked for something right off the top of my head, and so
Mhm.
this is a very nice foundational piece to step into more complex
Mm,
rituals as well. It's just a nice starting point.
mm. Yes, thank you. I know you have a guided practice for us today. Could you share a little bit about it and take us through it?
Okay, then I will. And again, I am sharing this is a simple foundational piece that has a couple of different layers to it. I would like to begin with a balancing of the breath. And so, if you would raise your hands and reach up into the air and sort of grasp the air, take a nice big breath, and then bring it down and bring your hands and put them on the crease of your thighs, lift your shoulders up, straighten your spine up, and then just release the breath. And I'm starting with this balancing breath to prepare for a little journey that'll just take a few minutes. And so then take one hand, doesn't matter which one, take another breath in, close off one nostril, and release all of your breath. And just let go of any tension. Take your hand down, breathe in, take the other hand and bring it to the other nostril and breathe out. Once again, alternate. With the other hand, breathe in and breathe out all the air, all the way, letting go of any tension or frustration. Breathing in and breathing out any attachment or clinging. Breathe it all the way out. And back to the other side, breathing in. And now letting go and breathing and releasing out any and all clinging, attachment, holding on to anything. Breathe it all the way out. Breathing in. On the other side. And now letting go of any anger, irritation, frustration. Breathe it all the way out. And take one more breath in. When you're done, breathing all the way in, fresh chi, fresh prana, and let go in 3 parts. It sounds like this. Okay, so let's do that. Breathing out confusion and ignorance. And now take your hands and just place them on your thighs and just be here for a moment. And while we're here, just notice, do you feel a little bit more balanced, present? Now, before we start this, let's take a moment to connect with something that's been draining you, perhaps situation at home or with a person, relationship. And now as you're sitting here, feel the weight of your body where you sit and notice the spaciousness around you. And send your awareness outward, maybe hearing birds or cars or wherever you're at. Just notice outside sounds. And then bring your awareness back into your body internally. And just to notice any internal sensations. And now this is about noticing, tuning into this thing that's been draining you, and gently ask, what in my life is a little uncertain or feels a little bit tender or hard today? Don't think too hard, just whatever floats to the surface is perfect. No story, just a headline of like the conversation or that decision or my daughter, whatever it is. Now locate, where am I feeling that in my body? See if you can find that place, maybe your chest or your jaw, your gut, your throat or your heart, and place your hand there. Place your hand in that place. Now we're not thinking, we're not fixing anything, we're just gently noticing. Now imagine a beautiful, wild or tender Dakini or Shiva or Shakti, whatever you connect with, a benevolent, kind presence appearing near you, or maybe inside of you. And it's made of luminous light, luminous energy. Maybe you see her or feel her presence in front of you. And now see what it feels like to let a warm, steady hand be placed right over your hand. And feel this energy or this spaciousness. Hey, this place of uncertainty, this difficulty, this belongs too. It's okay, even this. And let's breathe together for a few moments to like bring energy into this energy that was draining you, to allow it in and let it just be. There's nothing to do, just allowing it. And sometimes when tenderness arrives, energy starts to move, maybe a little shiver or a sigh or a tear or a smile. Just allow this to move in you. That's just the body releasing its grip on the story. And if nothing moves, that's happening. If it's perfect, if it's stillness, it's perfect too. And now, listening, ask quietly, what are you trying to show me? And just wait. Perhaps a phrase or an image or a feeling might arise. Trust the first thing that comes is your own inner wisdom speaking. And now resting in this connection. Wherever your hands are, bring both hands to your heart and whisper softly, I can stay open even while I change. And if your eyes are closed, start to open them, gently, slowly bringing in color, light, your screen, your living room, just letting in the ordinary world come back, let it come back into focus. And so this is a whispering practice that it isn't about grasping or fighting or avoiding or thinking. It's about discovering that tenderness, that kindness is always accessible, rapidly. Kindness is a rapid responder. It's always available inside of you if you simply slow down for a moment and allow it in. And so I hope you'll carry that feeling of self-kindness and self-friendliness into your life today.
Mm. Mm. Thank you. Yeah, it feels like it brings so much self-acceptance and yeah, to feel the love of that daikini or that really brought it deeper for me. It's very beautiful. Mm.
Oh, good. Well, it was absolutely delightful speaking with you. Very nice.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, yes. So you mentioned that I could mention something that people might be able to join and meet. And so there are many things available. You can go on my website, amaracharles.com. And also, in addition, we are having a beautiful Quodoushka ceremonial retreat where we will be out in nature and discovering all the things that I've talked about here today in a Quodoushka, which is a spiritual sexuality retreat that's open for singles and for couples.
Mm.
And you can find it on my website. It's coming up in September 2026, September 23rd through the 27th. And we're having a beautiful invitation of Osa Kuhlberg, who will be joining us we're teaching in a kiva. Did I tell you this? We're teaching in a womb space. A kiva is a sacred womb space, a sacred temple, and very, very sacred land. And so it's a very special gathering.
Mm. Wow. Oh, I want to be there. I feel.
Oh, I'll come. Just come.
Yeah. And I wonder, you said you have a lot of free things on your website. Do you have any specific for this
Oh, yes, yes, thank you.
building? Yeah.
Yes, I do. If people are called or touched in any way, I offer a complimentary session with me directly, and it's an hour conversation where we talk about relationship with or seeking a relationship with what's working, what's not working, and what's possible. And so in this conversation, I offer that as I call it a clarity session, really to just get clear on your path ahead of removing obstructions and what's been blocking you, whatever that is, and what what steps will bring you towards what you really want in your life right now.
Wow, that's so generous. Thank you.
Mm. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I have had people come from various places where they heard this, and so anyone listening who feels the call, it's a really special opportunity to talk together, and it's people say it's a little bit mind blowing sometimes, and I love doing it. So you're welcome, and so thank you so much for inviting me here today, and I really look forward to perhaps another conversation or yes, come to Quodoushka in, oh, and I mention it's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So yeah,
Mhm.
very fun place.
Yeah, beautiful. So I wonder if you have any like take-home message, last words that you wanna give to our audience before we close today.
Well, I'm curious. I'm going to put it back to you. Like, what is the thing that has really touched you or really landed with you with our
Mm.
conversation?
Yeah, for me, it's been the uh, coming back to kindness and the innocence and the fact that I am already whole and I'm already connected. There's nothing I have to do. And the way to connect to myself and to my spiritual sexuality and pleasure is through being kind, meeting myself with kindness. When I do that, it's like I automatically am connected. I am intimate with myself. It's like a gate to, yeah, to becoming present with what is without judging or all of this. But kindness really takes me to, oh, such a benevolent space that is connected. Yeah. This I take with me.
Okay, then we've had a good conversation.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And yes, it really is this.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Amara.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Take care.
Take care.